Hey, what's up, y'all? Good evening and happy Moonday, right? Happy Monday. Um, Big ups to all um, the moon. The moon is very, very important. Why? I guess we could get the conspiraciness out the way. Number one, don't nobody fully understand the moon, right? That's just facts. Number two, it's the precision of where it's placed in its orbit is like a mathematical genius equation where eclipses line up perfectly and all of that good stuff. All right. Now, the moon, call it whatever you want. A satellite, call it a a space station for cats, to observe us and all this. It's all it's all part of the mix. All right. Outside of all of that, moon energy is all about our emotions, right? Now, our emotional existence, our emotional life is very important, right? That watery substance, that watery vibe, the moon is exalted in Cancer. And Cancer energy, Cancer is all about, the mother, the warrior mother, but still, nurturing and caring, right? Now, the moon is, in terms of Kabbalah, is very important in terms of the lightning strike, as I spoke about. The moon is where it's like the final step, the ninth sphere, Yesod, right before the reflection goes on to what is known as Malkuth and what is this physical material existence, right? The moon is the step right before we get here. So any blessings that you're looking to receive that you send up comes down and gets showered down through us, through the moon. We'll talk about that in a second. All right, now. All right, you got in Greek is Mene, in Hebrew is Levana, and the profile, right? The profile. Intense, passionate, yes, intrinsically cold, changeful, glamour and dreaming, sudden adventure, childlike wonder and delight. This sphere has an affinity with the fluctuating tides of ocean, which the moon governs, and to the ever varying ways. We know this. The impulse of the moment, the work of caprice, the transient pleasure are typical manifestations of the moon force. The moon, 2.5 days in each sign. The moon is a swift mofo, right? Now it has strong cleansing and purificatory factors, all right? Just like Mars, but in a deep emotional way, as you can imagine. Now, check this, right? The dreams of the moon sphere are the potential realities of Earth. Peep game. Peep game. Potential realities of Earth. Your dreams, right? The Neptune, that energy, I'm supposed to say, about like being very big on dreams. Ice Pisces, Neptune, da 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 da. So, in the dream world is very important. Now, if we talk about things like manifestation, visualization, vision boards, and things like that, what are the techniques that we hear all the time? What's the techniques? Imagine what you want, but imagine yourself in the feeling of experiencing it, right? So don't imagine receiving cold hard cash. Imagining you pushing your Lambo, you know what I mean? Your Porsche, whatever the fuck you want, you know what I mean? You imagine the feeling of getting into the shit. Imagine the feeling of, going into your big mansion. Imagine the feeling of going home to your glorious boobadoo. The feeling is what brings forth the manifestation. All right. Look, we talking the moon, right? Look, we talking the moon. All right. The Kabbalistic number is 9. 9 is very important. 9 is a spiritual number. 9 is about anything plus 9. 9 plus anything is that number enhanced, so to speak. You understand? Do the math. You'll see what I'm saying. It's an enhancer. You know what I'm saying? All right. The colors red, purple, violet, lavender, pale lemon, yellow, flecked white, and silver. Silver very important, right? A jam you could throw on is Clair de Lune by Debussy. And other kind of, not to say somber, but very calming, smooth, emotional, invoking type music. All right, the instruments, the cymbals, the delicate bells, the mandolin, gourd rattles, the flute, the triangle, the harp, the oboe, the celesta, wind chimes, recorded night voices of nature. I don't know what that was. Anyways, you got the bear, you got the horse, you got the elephant, one of my favorites, Ganesha, come on now. The hare, I'm a fire rabbit in terms of Chinese astrology. The deer, the camel, the dog, the bull, the hyena, pigs of all kinds, the owl, the nightjar, the raven, the vulture, minotaur, ram-headed serpent, the harpy, and the hydra, right? Trees, we got all willows, we got coconut palm, bay, hazel, papaya, laburnum, right? You got the herbs, you got all white lily, purple lilies, hyacinths, irises, narcissus, all gourds like squashes, cucumbers, melons. You got peas, beans, lentils, vetches, turnip, and yam, right? In terms of incenses and smell goods, camphor, orris root, galbanum, artemisia, for Artemis, right? We'll get into that. Wintergreen, eucalyptus oil, jasmine oil, and, aromatic seeds in general, and ylang ylang. Metals is silver, platinum, erythrium, beryl moonstone, rock crystal, mirror glass. All right. Let me segue real quick. There's three tarot cards that dives into moon aspects and qualities, and I find this to be very illuminating. All right. Now we have the actual moon card, right? We have the Empress card, right? And we have the Priestess or the High Priestess card, right? All right, various aspects of the moon. The High Priestess card talks about the higher aspects of the moon energy, right? It's connecting the spiritual world to our physical world. Like, it's the closest planetary body, so it's the one that has practically the most influence on us, right? All this percentages of water our bodies are, the moon is ebbing and flowing, all that good stuff. You feel me? Luna is the name. Lunatic, the emotions that people could go a little bonkers and all this shit. You understand? It's a real thing. Werewolves and all that good stuff. All right. Now, that higher aspect is the pentagram. So, we want to bring down spirituality, divine spirituality, love, compassion, kindness, all that good stuff, right? Now, the Empress is the woman vibe of the moon, all right? You already could imagine the sun is the masculine embodiment of the male force, and the moon is the closest feminine embodiment of the female force, right? All right. So, it's very interesting. Now, in Hebrew, the Empress card is Daleth, which means door, right? So the gateway, the opener of the door. Now, how we all get here, y'all? Through what door? Okay. All right. So now imagine that's what it is. Taken from spirit, we come from spirit out through the gateway of the woman into the material. Right? Think about that aspect in terms of the moon. You call up beneficent sendings from the higher ups, from source, and you bring it on down, and so it could have a physical manifestation through the Daleth, through the door, through the moon, right? Moon magic is huge, y'all. I suggest look into it if you're interested. Now, The third aspect of the moon is one I kind of like the most, ironically enough to say. It's the waning part of the moon. It is the bully part of the moon. It is the what is known as the dark night of the soul. You know what I'm saying? You know, the moon helps to bring that through. You know, Saturn and all these various places, but the moon helps bring that, wait, what's going on here vibe. You understand? In terms of the card, right? You got Ampu and his brother Apuet, right? Right? You got basically twins Anubis, right? The sons of Set. These are the gateways to hell, right? The underworld, right? Don't get spooked out. Just listen. Right? The dark night of the soul is you bringing the black sun through the abyss, through hell, through the gates of hell, to the material world. Right? The dark night of the soul. You go, you feel like everything is going haywire, but you know, you persevere and you get through and you bring that black sun, that eternal black sun that's within everyone. You know what I'm saying? How you create darkness, how you create light is through the power of the darkness. All right? The Ein, then the Ein Sof R, Ein Sof, then Ein Sof R. That's all Kabbalah stuff. We'll get into that. But it's triple blackness of space. You know what I'm saying? The dark womb, the dark matter that's abundant in the whole universe. It's from that darkness then you imagine the spark of light, like a nuclear reaction to bring forth the light. Not to get too convoluted on that stuff, but just saying, like, you can utilize this energy to bring in what is known as the heart's desire, right? What's that now? What's that? We'll get into the deities so we could understand what it do with the moon, right? All right. We have what is known as the Virgin Huntress, right? You know, it's a type of bringer in, the opening of the way, the vanguard of society, right? You got Artemis, you got Selene, you got Hecate, you got Diana, right? A few adjectives for these people, excuse me, right? Artemis, you got the Virgin Huntress, right? You got the sustenance of the life of the wilds, the most bountiful, right? The savior, the healer, right? The sower. You got Selene, right? She is the queen of the night, brightness of night, the very manifest one, she who shines for all. Remember that mother vibe, and the opener of the gate. You understand? Hecate, ruler of night, right? Granter of heart's desire, right? Mighty in heaven, earth, and ocean. Mother of enchantment. Moon is also very magical, right? When we get to Tauret, we'll talk about that in 2 seconds. Diana, right? Diana, this type of goddess of the world, of nature, of fertility, of birth, of all earthly beings. Like, is this bringing forth life onto the earthly realm? What do you think all your desires are? You want your desire to come from the ethereal to come down and materialize into the world for you. You know what I'm saying? So you utilize these energies as a way to bring forth what you need, right? All right. You know, ultimately, people, you got Khonshu, you got Tauret, right? Swift mover, restorer of truth. You know what I'm saying? Tauret, you got the mother of the sun, because the lunar calendar was used before the solar calendar for thousands of years, right? You got the great one, guardian of women, protector of children, and powerful helper in childbirth, right? So what's the theme? What's the theme? Right? The theme is bring forth that of which what you want. It's very emotional. Pay attention to your emotions, right? Take control of it. You know what I'm saying? Use the fire energies or use the moon energies to purify and get yourself lighter. You know what I'm saying? You have to shed the baggage. Shed the baggage of any past stuff and uplift yourself. You know what I'm saying? And the moon and the vibrational frequency of the moon can be utilized. Now you got all types of stuff. To wrap it up real quick, you got all types of stuff like full moon, what to do during the full moon. You know, it's the breakaways, to relinquish stuff, and then make room for what? The coming in of the new moon and new beginnings and new opportunities and new beginnings and things like that. You got the waxing, and then you got the waning, you got the dark moon. All of this stuff is very, very researchable. So holla at it. You know what I mean? And enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy it because it's all here. Just like, tools in the tools box is all here to be utilized. Because you either be what is known as victim or you be ruler. Which one you want to be? I love y'all, right? Enjoy yourself, all right? Enjoy yourself and enjoy yourself, all right? Have a good evening.